Morning, everyone. Welcome. Hi, my name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is December 20th, 2023. It's been an honor to be part of this community for almost 4 years, to find each other every day, to learn a little bit of Torah, to give each other a little bit more hope, a little bit more strength. When we began this broadcast, it was only 2 weeks into the pandemic, and we decided that we would find each other even though, especially because it was hard to be together. And we found friends from all over the world just to say good morning, to learn some Torah, and to face the world as a community. In those days, it was a radical community because we couldn't imagine the possibility of finding each other online based on Facebook or Instagram algorithms. And yet, 900 and I think 53, Penny will confirm for us, I'm sure, 953 mornings later, look at who we are. So, Pete, sending love. Stephanie, good to see you. Jill and Carl, Linda, Anna, Chana and Jerry, April and Barry, good morning. Hi, Jacqueline. Is 952 today. Thank you, Penny. Kim, happy birthday plus 1 day. Hi, my wife. Neshama is such a gift, friends. I'm going to share with you after our blessing a conversation she and I just had, which brought me right to this moment in the most healthy and open of ways. So I'm very grateful. Roberta and Debbie, Stanley, good morning. You have guided me through so much too, my friend. Helen, good to see you. Hi, Debbie. Sending love to South Florida. Let's see who else is here. I skipped a bunch of people by accident, so friends, please forgive me if I missed you. Rose, it's good to see you. Natalie, it's good to be with you here. Glenda, good morning. Natalie, you're sharing that we began this community just as you had completed your divorce. And having gone through divorce myself, what a powerful thing you're sharing, which is the power of community to comfort us when we are beginning again, in the midst of what a friend calls a Mazel Tov Baruch Dayan Ha'emet moment, where there is the newness of life again and also significant loss. So sending you blessing, that is quite something to have shared. Thank you for doing that. That is brave and beautiful. All right, friends, let's take a breath. Let's sing a blessing. I'm going to hold on to the guitar. I think we'll sing a little bit more today. Here we go. All right, friends. So I'm going to hold on to the guitar. Let me tell you just a little bit in a personal way. These last few days, in the midst of everything, in the midst of everything, um, these past few days have become harder for me. And I know that I'm not alone in that. I know that this isn't an experience that's about any one of us individually, but my experience of this time became harder. And I was saying to Neshama just this morning, through tears, that it's just hard. It became harder, and it's hard to understand why. Because for all of the pain that's going on, October 7th is further away today than it was 4 days ago. Um, and she pointed out about me, and I think that there isn't a better observer in this world of my heart than my wife, which is quite a gift. Um, that when I slow down is when I begin to feel. And I'm imagining that might be true for you too. That having something to do, which I'm very grateful, I'm very grateful for the holy work that I get to do with UJA and the incredible friends, professional and volunteers, and donors and students that I get to work with on a frequent basis. It is purposeful and it helps in a personal way. When I slow down, I finished the second volume of Am Yisrael Chai. Um, Suddenly, I began processing more and more. And yes, I've been wearing this necklace in solidarity, in heart to heart hope with the hostages still in Gaza and the families desperately praying for their release and for those who were rescued, all the healing that's going to be necessary for them, and all of those who live in the south of Israel and what they've been going through, and all of the rest of the state of Israel and what they're going through, and the civilians in Gaza whose lives have been decimated by the terrorists in charge there, and all of Am Yisrael, all of the Jews. And I can list all of these segments of the world, some of which are my immediate family, some of which reverberate for me as if we are immediate family, and some of which, even if they don't reverberate as immediate family, I still feel with and for them. And I know that I'm not alone, friends. You and I were in this together. It's part of why I feel comfortable sharing an intimate detail about my own heart's state. As Susan just wrote, as time passes on, it also gets more painful in a complex way, like grief. And I think that that is just honest. It's fair. It's where I am. Yes, Arlene, for those who haven't seen, Rachel Goldberg Polin, Hirsch Goldberg Polin's mother, went on film yesterday. She's been incessant in her activity and as a vlogger, sharing small video clips. She also wrote that she had a hard day yesterday and she shared her aching on Instagram yesterday. Perhaps that brought it out of me. I'm not sure. I don't want to appropriate her experience. But I do think that part of what we're going to need to do, and again, I want to thank my wife for encouraging me and taking good care of me, is to say that out loud, is to say, at least for me and perhaps for you, that as this continues, and please God, may there be a moment where this phase of our experience ends and we find ourselves stronger and in the process of healing more squarely. I don't know when that is. I don't know what that will look like. But when that happens, friends, the power of this will continue. And I hope that we'll find ourselves processing, pausing. You know, I've quoted Viktor Frankl many times in our learning. Viktor Frankl famously said in Man's Search for Meaning that in between stimulus and response, there is a pause. Meaning between the thing that happens and my response to it, there is a pause. I should pause as I say that. And in the pause, there is a choice. And in the choice lives our freedom. What that means for me in this moment is that actually, in this pause where the feelings are crashing in, where the reality feels surreal. My friend, who's a councilwoman in Greenburgh, nearby where I live in Westchester, Ellen Hendricks, who is just a sweet soul. Sweet soul. We traveled together to Israel 2 weeks ago. She said, when she came back from our trip, She said, it feels like we're in different universes when I'm speaking with someone who wasn't there with me. Now, I don't really feel like that because I have people in my immediate world, thank God for my family, people in my work world, thank God for so many interwoven hearts and souls doing this great work on behalf of the Jewish community. I don't feel alone in that way, but when I look out at the world, I wonder if it understands. I think I said this yesterday. When I got out of the train in Grand Central and I walked up Lexington towards UJA, I was looking around at the world and it was just going on. And that felt weird. Felt very strange, very dislocated. Now, I was taught a long time ago by a rabbinic mentor to to not use the pulpit or a classroom as a therapy session. So on the one hand, I'm mindful about that most of the time. On the other hand, this is what it is to have friends and to share heart. So I don't hesitate from letting you all in a in a mindful way, in a moderated way. But in this moment, I hope that you'll find opportunity in therapy, in friendship, in family, in learning, to let your own heart out because we need it. We need it. This is not a simple time. This is a very hard time. And we're all in it together. The world is in it together, and certainly the Jewish community is experiencing it in a terrible and a terribly intense way. Let me connect it just for a second to one verse of this week's Parsha. Thank you, my friend Chana. It is okay to be vulnerable and to let others offer me or you or any one of us support. Listen to the verse from this week's Parsha where Joseph finally is the facade, the wall that he's building around him suddenly cracks. Listen to this language. V'lo yachol Yosef litapek. Joseph could no longer control himself. Why? His brother showed up with tenderness, and all of the pent-up feelings that he had had for so long began crashing through. L'chol hanitzavim elav. He, in front of everybody, he just started cracking. Vayikra hotziu chol ish me'elai, and he said, "Take everybody away from me." V'lo amad ish ito, no one stood with him. V'hit vada Yosef el achav, and there was no one around except for his immediate family, his brothers, his formerly estranged brothers, with whom he was suddenly just about to reveal himself. And listen to the language here, friends. And I feel like some of this might be true for some of us. Vayitein et kolo bivchi. He cried so loud, V'yishmeu Mitzrayim, Vayishma Beit Paro. All of Egypt heard, including the house of Pharaoh. When we cry in this way, amplified by technology, certainly, amplified by the way our world works now, and certainly by the way our hearts feel each other's realities, Joseph couldn't hold it back, and it was everywhere. And I would say, in a spiritual way, may our cries pierce heaven and reverberate back with compassion to all those in need, our sisters and brothers, and our cousins, and civilians on the ground in Gaza, and the soldiers who are fighting for life on behalf of our homeland, and anyone in need. It's really hard these days to hold the rest of the world's vulnerabilities as we hold our own. And there are moments where it's just too much. I want to share that when Joseph, in this verse, Yosef he couldn't hold it back, he was cracking. I remember saying to a dear teacher of mine, a therapist, who changed my life for the better, his name is Ray. I said to Ray, I feel like I'm falling apart. I remember I said that to him years and years ago. And he looked at me and said, Menachem, you're cracking open. Both can be true. Both can be true. So I want to offer you, friends, my broken heart. And I'm going to, in the same way that I work as a rabbi to help hold the hearts of others, I'm very appreciative of this community's ability to hold mine too. It's been 952 mornings, going through some really intense stuff. Some of it you've shared, stuff that's hard for us individually, stuff that's collectively difficult. solidarity that we show with the world, and some of it's been personal for each one of us, me included. I'm so grateful, friends, for what it is to be a community that shows up. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. I feel healthier because I have a community like ours. And I hope that that's what this community is for you too. That in your moments of need, you know that we're here. You always wonder how a digital community can be of support. But we have each shared over the last almost 4 years how true it is that Torah can be helpful, love is helpful, showing up is incredibly helpful, being vulnerable and honest, and facing the world with renewed courage, which frankly, even sharing like this gives me a little bit more of. I'm grateful to my wife for encouraging me to speak about this with you, because it really does help. It really does help. So let's take a second. Let's sing a little bit, okay? Let's sing a little bit more than usual. I'll ask you to join with me in that. And if you gotta go, we'll miss you. But if you want to stick around, here's some stuff. I wrote this maybe a week after October 7th happened. I haven't sung it in a long time, actually. And I wrote 2 parts, and my son wrote a 3rd part with me. And I can't do the 3rd part without him, so this is an incomplete song. Thank you, friends, for all the comments. So, that first song I wrote a month ago. This song I wrote 21 and a half years ago. It's about a world of love. I wrote it for our children, for everybody's children. There's a big if in the song. So, if we build this world from love, which I promise, and I know you all join me in promising we're going to do, then God will be part of that great rebuilding. Let's make that promise together. Ooh, ooh, da-da-da. Olam chesed yibane, olam chesed yibane, I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. You know, the big difference between the way life can be portrayed on TV or elsewhere is that you come to a problem, stress, a dynamic or dramatic tension, and it can be solved. And often that's the kind of show that we choose, or movie that we choose, because it's much harder when something comes to a close of its specific form and it's unresolved. But I think that's actually what both Torah offers, what this moment of our history offers. And I want to end this, this moment of our community's gathering and tie it all up, mostly because I really want that. But I can't. That's not what this moment offers. Chava, I include with you love of the Palestinian people. I do. It's part of why my heart is broken. It's so important for us, friends, to know that this is not going to be resolved. And I'm speaking to myself, trust me, as much as I'm speaking to anyone else. We're going to have to take good care of ourselves and allow for joy, allow for comfort, allow for the pain. And we're going to have to show up in community and in support of each other in moments that might seem like they're the calmer ones, because in that pause, sometimes it all starts pouring out. This is one of those moments. I know not alone for me, but also including me. So what I'd like to do, friends, is offer the same prayer we've been offering for 75 mornings now in a row. Sing the Hatikva. And I'm going to remind myself of the words. Say it out loud to you. Kol od balev penima. As long as in the heart, inside, nefesh Yehudi homia. A Jewish soul, meaning for those of us who are Jewish, it calls out with yearning. And for those of us who are not Jewish, what a precious gift it is to have you here. We hold each other. This is not only about the welfare of the Jewish people, even though right now it very much is about that. And my eye is turned toward the east. Ulefate mizrach kadima, looking forward to the east. Od lo avda tikvatenu. We still haven't lost our hope. Hatikva bat shnot alpayim, a hope of 2,000 years. And remember, those 2,000 years are defined as homelessness, vulnerability, with nowhere to turn in a permanent way. Liot am chovshi be'artzenu, what's our goal? Not to have power and not to be at war and not to be anything like that. Liot am chovshi, just to be free and to be home. Eretz Tzion, the land of Tzion, V'Yerushalayim. Jerusalem signifies that Jewish hope, to be home, to be safe, for us all to be home. Hope. 3 exclamation points, Kim, I'm with you. So, let's sing it. Let's pray it. Let's offer our hearts to each other as I'm so grateful you offer your hearts to. And let's wish a better day for everybody. Everybody, everybody. I'll just say one additional 4-word prayer. Bring them home now. Kol od balevav penima, nefesh Yehudi homia, ulefate mizrach kadima, ayin letzion tzofia. Od lo avda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot alpayim, liot am chovshi be'artzenu, Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim. Liot am chovshi be'artzenu, Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim. Bless you, friends. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow. Thank you for everything.